Okay, welcome back, YouTube fam. Those of you coming from TikTok, hey, hi, we're gonna do the deck interviews. Super exciting. For those of you who don't follow me on TikTok, you don't know anything I'm talking about. I bought them. I bought 2 new decks the other day, and I'm gonna do the deck interviews. I've never done them online before, but I felt like this was a cool opportunity for you guys to see how I initially find out the personalities of my decks and how they want to be used. It does evolve a little bit over time, but I did get this new tarot deck right here, which I talk about the intro. And then here is the new Oracle deck. This is like an Astro deck. I am going to do interviews for both of them. So we're going to get started right now. I will have the, I'm just going to post it as one video, but I'm going to have them separate. So I'm just going to combine them. And then, so I'm going to start with, the Oracle deck. I'm drawn to that. And then I'll have the timestamps below on when the tarot one starts. If you don't want to watch the Oracle, you can watch the tarot to see how I get the personalities of my decks. So this ought to be really fun. And I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, here we go with the Oracle. So this is kind of where I got it from. One of my card decks that I have, actually the Threads of Fate deck, the tarot decks come with this cool little deck interview thing. I'm not going to share it out, so don't ask me to post it in the pictures because this does come specifically with their decks. So if you want to get this, any tarot deck you order from them, I believe it'll be in the tarot deck, in the booklet. This is something that I found uniquely only to their decks. And I have 2 of them. Actually, they're both out too because I'm going to do a tarot read after this. But these guys right here, these are both the Threads of Fate decks. I know you guys often comment on how pretty they are. Yeah, they are, which is why I bought this was a limited edition Aurora deck. And then this was the Dreamweaver deck. I think that's what it was called. The Journeyer Dreamweaver deck. I think they still have some. They had a bunch of different ones. They had a Shadow one, which I was really interested in getting. And then they had an Ascendant one. This is also one of their decks. Shout out Threads of Fate. They have these amazing, I love their decks. This is also one of their decks. They have 3 different decks I want currently right now that I want to get. They're just pricey, but they're so good and I love them so much and I love the feel of them. I just can't afford them right now. So Threads of Fate, if you want to work together, I would love to because I love your decks. I really want the Runic deck and I will get that. And I really want the Hero Oracle. I think it's called the Hero's Oracle or something like that. I want that one too. They're both amazing. They're just amazing and I want them. And then I want the Pocket Emporium deck. I think that's what it is. You have a little tiny one and I want that too. But anyways, and then I also want to get this one off Etsy that I saw, this Angel Tarot deck I want. Anywho, we're not there for that today. We're here for this. So we're going to get started. All right, so I'm just shuffling the cards and giving them a good shuffle because I just got them. They're in order. So I'm just trying to shake them up a little bit, you know. We're not going to read. I might read with them, actually. This one did want to come for a read. It's already ready to go, but we're going to introduce it first. So we're doing the tarot. Ooh, look at that. I pulled up my card, the Aquarius card. So we'll see. And I don't use this this deck interview. I haven't done it in a while, so I just have it out here for reference so I can see it. So I was debating on how I wanted to do this, whether I wanted to pull all the cards, flip them over. But I think I'm going to pull and flip at the same time and then see what the energy is like. Okay, deck. I am going to connect with the deck just because I've never used it before, so it is new. So give me a second here. Actually, I'm going to do it with both at the same time. Nah, I'll do it separate. I already cleansed them, so all that. But Okay. What's really funny is when I was channeling, you know, the blessing into the deck a little bit, I saw like in the star pattern up here, I saw like the image of like a cartoon dog with its tongue hanging out of its mouth, like, you know, like just fun. And I feel like this deck is just going to bring some like fun vibrancy to the, when I read with it. I think it's going to bring some fun insights, some information that like, about whatever it is, maybe just like a brighter insight is kind of what I'm getting, like a fun, brighter insight. Okay, so let's start. So there are 6 cards that come out, 6 questions. So the first question for the deck is introduce yourself to me, deck. How do you introduce yourself? What is the main thing about yourself? Anything else? No. Okay. Then we'll go over it then. Okay, the second question, what is your strengths? As the deck, what is the strengths? What are your strengths? How do you want to be used? Thank you. Ooh, Pluto. Third question, your limitations. I'm not taking that. What are your limitations as a deck? What can you not do as well? What do you think your weaknesses are, deck? As a deck, what's your weaknesses? I don't know if I did this with any other Oracle decks, to be honest. I just kind of know when to use them. But this one, I don't know. What's a weakness? What's your weakest point as a deck? I'll take that. Aquarius. That's funny. Me. Everything I bring to the table. Okay. What do you want to teach me as a deck? Thank you. Oh, I love that. Fifth, how can I best honor you? How would you most like to be used in readings? How would you most like to be used and when? How can I most honor you? As in, when would you most like to be used in readings? How would you most like to be used in readings? How can I most honor you, deck? How would you most like to be used? This one. Okay. And what would you like our relationship to be like? I'm taking this one. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, Capricorn, the boss. And Neptune, dreams. So the Capricorn card says serious, authoritative, ambitious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, enduring, accomplished, badass, majestic, competent, prepared, down to earth, corporate, reserved, rigid, disciplined. And then Neptune, dreams and love. The boss of dreams and love is what I'm getting. Dreams, imagination, memories, the subconscious, self-sacrifice, ideals, universal love, visions, meditation, spirituality, compassion, empathy, fantasies, escapism, the ether, enchantment, confusion, veils, and magic. And then the other one I picked up on was Venus and love. So beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth, diplomacy, magnetism, value, pleasure, adornment, adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and style. So I want to say Capricorn, Neptune, and Venus is kind of the vibe I get from the deck. Like the deck is very authoritative, but at the same time and structured, but at the same time it's very dreamy and lovey, and it wants to be, you know, show attention. That's what I'm getting. Trine flow, like, yeah, it wants to flow with what I want to use it for. Okay, so then let's get into this. So the first one, introduce yourself. And this one, it's introducing itself as a conjunction and empowerment. So what I'm getting from this card is that the deck wants to be used to, or what the deck is for is empowerment. Like this deck is to empower whatever answers the questioner is seeking. So whatever I'm asking, whatever the question is, it's meant to empower. All it wants to do is empower the reader, empower the questioner. And that's combines with, enhances, strengthens, joins forces, activates, intensifies, authorizes, allies with, concentrates, saturates, overrides, and overwhelms. So like I said, this wants to assist in whatever, it's empowerment. Whatever I'm channeling, it wants to help out. So it's probably going to be used as a clarifier. If I had to guess, like a mainly a clarifying deck. Okay, the second question, your strengths. So its strengths as a deck is transformation. So it's meant to transform, right? These answers are meant to help and transform the lives of its questioner. Renewal, inner resources, basic instinct, motivation, personal power, evolution, composting, cycles, death, rebirth, subversion, suspicion, obsession, intensity, reckoning, taboos, clearing, and extremes. So it's everything that Pluto stands for, right? This transformation, it's meant to shake you. It's meant to like empower you. It's meant to do that. Whatever these answers are, this clarity that we're supposed to get from this deck is meant to empower you, and it's meant to transform you. It's meant to help. I love this. Your limitations as a deck. So its limitations as a deck is the radical. Or Aquarius, that's me. So it's not meant experimental, rational, unique, liberal, electric, group-oriented, humanitarian, free, radical, eccentric, diverse, futuristic, utopian, idiosyncratic. Wow, that's a word. Disruptive, edgy, and detached. So this energy, what this deck is not bringing, it's not going to go over the limit. This deck is not meant for like, okay, well, you want like extremes, you want to like push past the question. This is not meant to like, I want to say this isn't meant as an advice deck. This is not meant to see into the future. This is a deck that's going to be used for clarity right now, here and now, like what clarity on what's going on in the present moment, not in the future. Also not for group messages. This might be, I don't know, because it does say humanitarian, group oriented. So I want to say that if this deck is going to come through in a group reading, like one of the ones I do on YouTube, it's probably going to have a specific message. Like if the message comes through specifically for a certain group of people, it might come through, or this deck might only be used for personal reads. Just saying. We'll see. Or part of it. Okay, 4. What do you want to teach me? 6. This is craft. This is awesome. I love this. 6th house. So 6th house, work, details, health, well-being, diet, service, daily rituals, contribution, organization, purification, skills, apprentice, and method. So this, what it wants to teach me is how to utilize this deck in the skills that I already know. It wants to enhance the skills I already know by giving more insight to these skills that I'm using, how I'm using this deck, right? That's how it wants to be used. I love that. Or I'm sorry, what it wants to teach me. How can I best honor you is the 5th house. This is how it wants to be used in readings. This is how like it wants to connect. This is how it wants me to understand it. And that is the 12th house, surrender. I love that. Subconscious mind, compassion, dreams, karma, forgiveness, baggage, trance states, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, guilt, prayer, Akashic records. So what this is saying is that how can I best honor this is to go with my intuition and trust. Just trust what it's saying. Just trust. You know what I'm saying? It's saying just surrender to whatever the answers are. Just surrender. Don't go looking for more. Just surrender to what you're given. That's how you can best honor me, is like when you choose to use me in a read. This is just trust the answers that you're given. Don't second guess, which I don't do that with my decks. And what would you like our relationship to be like? This is Sagittarius, the Voyager. I love this. Going places. Enthusiastic, philosophical, independent, generous, ethical, seeking, happy-go-lucky, adventurous, honest, bareback. Ooh. Unbridled, experimental, lucky, boundless, traveling, risk-taking, tactless, self-righteous. So what this is saying is it wants to go on adventures with me. It wants our relationship to be really spontaneous, like the Sagittarius, right? Spontaneous and when we do work together, like fun and happy, like I said, a brighter energy. It wants me to bring this energy in. It wants our relationship to be like, hey, you can look to me when you're looking for answers, kind of thing. Awesome. So that was that. So what I got from this interview with this deck is that the deck feeling, it wants us to have a bright, very fun connection with each other. It wants me to know that it is boss-like, but it also has deep empathy and like spiritual, like it wants me to use it not so much for advice for groups, but it does want me to transform and empower the questions that I have. And it's going to be primarily used as a clarifying deck. Probably won't ever be before a reading, most likely only for after in readings. Primarily, this might also be used a lot in personal reads when I do those. It could be used as a group card, but it's going to be very general if it is. And I feel like this wants to be more specific to specific questions. So this could be probably really, really well used also as a clarifier for specific questions within reads. Like specific, not like an overall at the end when I use the rest of my oracles. This is more specific. So if I have one card and I'm like, oh, give me more information on this, that's what this might be used for as well. So that is my oracle deck. The new Numinous. Hold on, what is it called? The Numinous. Sorry, the Numinous. This is the Numinous Astro deck. So that's this one. Thanks, guys. If you're not going to watch the tarot one, I will see you later. Bye. Okay, guys, welcome back. If you're here, you just watched the oracle and now you're watching the tarot. Here's the tarot. So we just did the Numinous, yeah, that's right, the oracle. So now we're gonna do the tarot. So let me shuffle this guy. That was awesome, by the way. I love it. I can't wait to use that deck. So this one I did mention on my TikTok about how I think this one's gonna be, it has a very almost dark intuitive energy to it. It's, I don't want to say dark, it's very Ajna, and I don't want to say third eye in this case. Like, I really just want to say Ajna. It has a very Ajna-ish feel to it. I know it's so weird. I know. And that's the third eye. They call it the Ajna. I think that's its actual name. And like the Hindu name for the third eye chakra, but they all in human design they also call it the Ajna center. So we'll see, but I feel like I think it has roots within the Ajna. All right, so let's just shuffle this guy. I just love how it sounds too when it's being shuffled. I like it. Okay, so we got it. Let me tap into this deck and then we will do the tarot. So I did see, again, the third eye, like on fire almost. It was weird, like radiating out from the third eye. Sorry, guys, I'm going to light my last incense order. I had an old one burning. Okay, I just wanted to light a new one. Let's see it going. This. Okay. All right, so let's get started here. Look, it's ready to communicate. 8 of Wands. I love this deck already. Okay. Okay, deck. Introduce yourself, deck. What would you like to say about yourself? How would you like to introduce yourself to me, deck? How'd you like to introduce yourself? Say hello. How would you like to say hello, deck? Okay. Actually, I'm not going to take anything upside down with this. I'm going to take 2. Okay. Okay, second one. What are your strengths as a deck? What are you good at? What are you good at sharing? No. Can you be a little clearer? What are you good at? What are your strengths as a deck? What are you the best at conveying? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Second, what are your limitations as a deck? What are you not so good at? I'm gonna take these 3. What do you want to teach me as a deck? What would you love me? What would you love to show me as a deck? For me to learn as a deck? Yeah. Anything else for what would you want to, what do you want to teach me? Thank you. Okay, I love that. How can I best honor you? How would you like to be mostly used as a deck? What kind of reads would you like? Oh, really? I love this. I knew we were going to see the High Priestess. I just knew it. Oh, okay. Okay, I love this. All right. And what would you like our relationship to be like as a deck? How would you like mine and your relationship to be like? How would you like our relationship to be like? When I use you, how would you like our relationship to be like? Oh, I love that. Yeah, no wonder it wanted to come out today. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love this. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say that. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So the cards on the bottom of the deck that I resonated with for this is the Emperor, the World, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. And honestly, with this deck, I don't know if I'm going to read it in reverse, because I had a couple reverse cards come out and I wasn't called to read them reversed. So I don't know if this deck will be read in reverse. I'll have to find that out when I go to use it. But the Emperor, the World, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like how I'm reading this deck is that, again, with the Emperor, like we saw Capricorn, and that's kind of, I think, is the Emperor a Capricorn card? No, Aries. It's an Aries card. But I don't know. Look, it has the Aries right on there. So the deck is like okay, so the deck is gentle, But the deck wants to really put, like, wants you to use your own authority to put an ending, is to end cycles. So the deck's really asking you to like stand in your power, and what it's going to do is give you the emotional guidance to make new decisions or go or have new opportunities. Like the deck really wants to assist specifically in a gentle way. And I think it's gently looking at the shadow and working through that. Okay, so the first thing, introduce yourself. So what came out was the Seven of Pentacles and the Star of how the deck wants to be introduced. And what this is saying is exactly what I kind of just said. The Seven of Pentacles is all about you reap what you sow, and the Star is healing. It's like what the deck's saying is the deck's supposed to be used that if you come searching for answers, you're willing to listen to what it has to say, you will find healing within this deck. Like I said, I'm getting a really intuitive, just gentle energy from this deck. Almost like it's like your higher self comforting you is the message I'm getting. It's not like a grandmother energy. It's not necessarily a feminine energy. I mean, it kind of is feminine, but it's not at the same time. It's more like these beings on these cards look almost like extraterrestrial or something. It's like a higher presence is what it is almost. It feels like a higher presence is like helping. 2, the strengths. 4 of Swords and the Magician. So what this is saying, the strengths of this deck is it's really good at putting the questioner or the reader, in this case, whoever's asking for the information, they're able to put aside and rest with the 4 of Swords, whatever's happening, so that they can step into their own power and see the truth. And that's what I was saying with the Ajna. Like, this is giving the reader, and look, her eyes are closed right there, right? This deck is giving the reader the ability to kind of pause and look at it from their own higher power, their own power themselves. And I love that. Like, I love this. 3, your limitations. So what is the deck not good at? Or like, what is it limited in providing? And that was the Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. So, what I'm getting from this is that I want to say that what this deck is not super good at is holding on to physical things. The Queen of Pentacles is a stable, solid person in the present holding on. But then the 6 of Swords is moving on, is taking it and moving with it. So I want to say this, again, this has to do with, it's intuitive. It's not so much physical things that are happening like in the present. It's not so much a tangible idea that it's meant to, like, you're meant to move with on this. It's up here. It's a spiritual movement with these cards. Like, this is, like I said, an intuitive spiritual knowing. It's a spiritual intuitiveness with these cards, and this third eye, like looking at it from this perspective, not what you can physically see. And going with it. So it's like not holding on to something in the physical, but it's more mental, I want to say, with these cards. What do you want to teach me? So what it wants to teach me is 5 of Pentacles, King of Wands. And again, it wants to teach me to not stay in this physical place of sadness and feeling left out. It wants me to move into my power as the King of Wands. Have authority in what you already know, like your passion and your knowing energy, right? Because look, here's one of the kings. Their eyes are blocked, but he has authority that he already knows, right? And this is, like I said, I knew this was all about third eye. So what the deck wants to teach us is to let go of the physical and trust your knowing, trust your passionate self, trust your authority in your passion and in your spiritual passion of already knowing. Oh, I love this. How can I best honor you? So that is how can I use the deck, how the deck wants to be used. And that was the Three of Swords. This is interesting. The Three of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Two of Swords. And that to me is saying that the way that this deck most wants to be used is when there's a struggle of heartache. So this is when, how this deck wants to be used is when your back's up against the wall, when the questioner is like, I don't know what's going on here. I need answers. Like, I don't know. It's like the heartache. It wants to be used when there's like really, I want to say difficult mental things going on, but and it wants to intuitively help move you out of this energy, because the Two of Swords is a blind choice. But what this wants to do is open your eyes with the High Priestess. Like you feel heartbroken and sad and you're having issues making a choice, but what this deck wants to help you do is open up that third eye, open up and see the answer to make that choice, right? It wants you to move out of this sadness in order to help you see. Because look, she's the only one with her eyes open right here. Closed. Her eyes are open to see the truth. Oh, I love that. Stop. And then the last one is, how would you like our relationship to be like? This is also amazing. 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 3 of Cups. And what this is saying is that the deck wants its mine and the deck's relationship to be like a lifting of a burden, like dropping this heavy weight that's happening for the questioner, the reader, whoever is asking the question, to drop the heavy weight in the nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, right? Be able to drop these wands that you're carrying for so long. The 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, drop the wands, and to feel emotionally together again, to feel emotional expansion. And I think this is mainly going to be used I think this deck is mainly going to be used in questions of separation. This might be used a lot. Questions with separation where healing is really necessary, but only if the questioner is ready to hear the answer. And it's a gentle energy. It's not going to be super blunt like some of my other decks. It's going to be a little gentler, but it is going to get you to the truth. But it wants you to feel almost more loved within yourself. This deck is a very gentle, self-loving deck. And I think, like I said, I think it's going to be messages from your higher self coming in with this one. This is a really cool deck. I'm so excited to use it. I am going to do a read. So if you guys liked this introduction to my new tarot and oracle decks, give me a thumbs up and a like. I am available for personal reads. You can DM me or you can message me below. Like I said, I don't know if I said it here, but I am doing, I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. If I get to 50 subscribers, I will, have a contest to give away a free read. And then if I get 50, I can go live on YouTube. So that's the struggle. That's the ambition right now. So help me get to 50 subscribers, and then I will run a contest to give away a free read. Thanks guys. And if you are interested in the read, you can stick around and that will be posted sometime. Okay. Thanks guys. Have a good one.